Good morning, Global Morning Meditation Collective. Thanks for joining our meditations today in the preparation for worshipping of Lord Shri Krishna. Let's do the Namaskar to our Divine Mother, our protector, inviting her to our collective meditation in her full form, complete form, collective Kundalini and Bandhan. Let's keep our attention at the Sahaja. Let's put our right hand on the Mother Earth. Salutation to Sri Ganesha, the one who protects us and allow us to be at the lotus feet of Sri Mataji. Let's surrender our ego and superego to the Universal Mother, the Holy Ghost. Mother, you are the doer, and you are the enjoyer. We are the children of the Adi Shakti herself. And we know we are under her protection. Sri Ganesha, make us collective and establish the powers of the Virata in our brain. That is the crown of our Divine Mother as the Virata. Now let's put both hands on our laps. Sri Ganesha mantra, followed by Sri Radha Krishna mantra, all together. Om Tvameva Sashat Shri Ganesha Sashat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sashat Shri Radha Krishna Sashat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Ganesha, we are going to be worthy of your attention. Please make us innocents so that we are in your attention. Shri Mataji, you who are Shri Ganesha, please give us wisdom and discrimination. Shri Ganesha, please protect us and protect the whole humanity and give us full respect for our eternal Mother. Now, putting our right hand in our central Vishuddhi chakra, giving vibrations. Let us ask the protection of Sri Krishna, the master of the Lila game, of all the dramas. Let's say again the mantra, Shri Radha Krishna. Om Tvameva Sachat Shri Radha Krishna Sachat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's put back our right hand on our laps. Attention at the Sahaja in the Nirvichara Samadhi. Keeping the eyes open to Sri Mataji's photograph. Let's put attention to the message of Sri Mataji. She is teaching us today for the benefit of our collectivities. Let's pay attention to her.
आज यहाँ अधिकतर लोग प्रदेश से आए हुए हैं, इसलिए it's very easy. If you want to go, it's to the first we had the incarnation, historical, mythological place. Yamuna River is a very deep. Today we are going to have the puja of Sri Krishna. In Sri Krishna's life, the river Yamuna has played a very great role. Yamuna River is a very deep river and the water has a blue color, which they say Sri Krishna also had. While the river Ganges flows faster and much shallower than this river. Next year maybe we might go to Allahabad, might be able to see the two rivers meeting. The whole of Haryana has been a very, very historical, mythological place. You must have known about it, that Pandavas and Kauravas fought in Kurukshetra, and also all this area has been used since long for meditation. Markandeya, whose name you have heard many times, meditated in this India. First, he was in Maharashtra, where you have seen the Saptashringi. And after that, he came down here and meditated and wrote his deities. Everywhere we find a place of a peer. Also, they are realized souls who have been respected till today. To begin with, we have to say that this is the area of great spirituality. Because Sri Krishna lived here, and in those days there were no cars, not this transport. So he has vibrated all this land so beautifully. Very fond of playing near the river Yamuna. Of course, his childhood was not spent here, but later on, when he became the king, he used to visit this place many a times. We have to understand his character in a very special way. First, we had the incarnation of Sri Rama. The Vishnu, as you know, took the birth of Sri Rama. But Sri Rama forgot his divinity. He was made to forget his divinity. And he lived like an ordinary person, became a king, like Socrates has described, the benevolent king. And he had to also sacrifice his wife. That's very symbolic, no doubt. The other part of North India will be able to see his vibrated areas where he moved. But Maharashtra he went without shoes, walked and walked and walked. Thus, this whole country is really vibrated by great saints and by great incarnations. Sri Krishna's one side was that he was like a child, and he wanted to create an atmosphere of mirth, of joy. Because at the time of Sri Rama, after him, the religion was taken very seriously, and people started doing very serious type of religion. The same incarnation again reappeared. Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna wanted to show that spirituality is not serious. It's Leela. It's a game that you have to play. And in his lifetime he showed. People don't understand him at all because from Sri Rama's concept they cannot condescend to come down to the sometimes to the level of Sri Krishna, which was I think was much higher. Because he had to show that all this world is just a joke, is Maya. And beyond that is joy. His own style was very interesting. That time they couldn't have such beautiful pandals, they couldn't have so many disciples. So he tried on his own style. And his style was, when he was a child, there were many milkmaids whom they called gopis. They would be taking their bath in the river Yamuna. Not here. He would just break their water and the water would flow on their back. This Yamuna river was vibrated by Radha. Radha. Ra means energy, Dha means the one who sustains. Radha, Dharayati Sada. Radha. And he didn't know how to tell them about Kundalini, so he used to throw stones, small stones, at those fishes, and the water would flow down their backbone, thus giving them the blessings of the Kundalini. His style was extremely simple, playful, mirthful, and nobody understood why he was doing all these things. Also, when he was a very small child, there were ladies who were taking their baths. So he was trying to raise their Kundalini, and he hid their clothes. He vibrated them. So many people don't understand. A little child is so innocent. And he was teasing them and trying to show that life is nothing but joy. And he gave them those clothes. Later on, he grew up. Then he became the king of Dwarika. In our country, there are very westernized intellectuals. And they try to say that there were two Sri Krishnas. I mean, they want to analyze everything without understanding spirituality. What is the subtle thing behind it? He had 16,000 wives, as they say. They were his powers. See, for men, I am a mother. I can have thousands of children, boys, girls, men, women. Nobody can say anything about my character. But for men it is very difficult. So he got all his powers born as women who were married to some king. Not married, actually he had abducted those women and put them in jail. So he saved them from there, brought them out and married them. Now if you see, the accent is on marriage. He married them. These were his 16,000 powers. As you know, he is 16 petals and 1,000 of the Sahasrara, 16,000 powers which he married. Then he had 5 wives, for which also people have objection. Only Krishna can do like that. 5 wives are the 5 elements. The essence of them, the causal of them came as his wives and he married them. But he was such a detached soul. There's a lot of stories about detachment. There was one great rishi, meaning a saint, a sage, who had arrived on the other side of the river Yamuna. This was in Dwarika. And there was no Yamuna river, but there was Narmada and Tapi. And they wanted to go and serve the sage. So when they went near the river, they found the river was all flooded. So they went back to Sri Krishna and said, see, we are going to worship the sage and the river is all flooded. So he said, all right, you go and tell the river a truth. By that truth it will go down. What's the truth? That Sri Krishna is a brahmachari, is a celibate person. He had 5 wives. They said, how can we say this? This is the truth. This is the river. Tell the river. And the river will understand the truth, the power of truth will put down the floods. So they went and they said that Sri Krishna is a brahmachari. And the river went down. And they were surprised. How it can happen? This fellow is our husband. And how can he say that he is a brahmachari? So this they served the sage, served him well, gave him food, looked after him, and when they came back, they again saw the river was in floods. So they were quite worried how to cross the river now. So then went back to the sage and informed the sage that, see, we have to go back and the river is in speed and we don't know how to cross over. He said, it's very easy. If you want to go, it's very easy. They said, how? How did you come? They said, Krishna told us like this to tell that the river is celibate. That I am celibate. And the river, Narmada is also a celibate river. So the river went down. Alright, then you go and tell the river now that I didn't eat any food, nothing I ate. I'm just fasting. They said this fellow ate like a glutton and telling us a lie like this. And how are we to believe this man? So they went to the river, and to the river they said that this sage didn't eat any food, he is on a fast, and please go down. And the river went down. So they were surprised how this fellow has eaten everything. And despite that, when we told such a big lie, this river has listened to this lie. So they crossed over. The point is, those people who are at that level, even when they eat, they don't eat. Even they are married, they are celibate. It's a state. It's a state in which you are completely detached. Absolutely detached. You don't feel the attachment of the work you are doing or the life you are leading. I cannot say how one should become detached. Of course, with the Kundalini working out and you meditating all that and fixing the Kundalini properly, it will work. You'll be amazed how you'll become detached about things and how you can manage things without feeling that you are doing it. How you can work out so many things without feeling even tired. It's a state, and that is the state one has to achieve. Now for that, whether you are at that stage or not, first thing you must notice how many times I use the word I, me. How many times I said, I saw these, I enjoyed these, this, that. Or this is my child, this is my house, something like that. When you start using I too much, then you are not detached. Try to introspect. How many times I say, I have got this work to be done, I've got to do this, I must furnish this, I must achieve this is the goal of my life. These are all words of illusion. Once you get detached, it's a state again. I wouldn't say that by standing on your head you will become detached or anything like that. It's a state into which one has to grow. So Sri Krishna's message all his life was complete detachment. Even when he went with Arjuna for a war, he said, I will be just the driver of your chariot. But I will not raise any weapons. I will not fight. I will be just your charioteer. And if you agree to that condition, I'll be there. Actually, when Arjuna had a question, how can I kill? These are my relations, these are my gurus, these are my uh, close people, my friends. How can I kill them? And he became very depressed. When he became depressed, Krishna said that, do you know they are already dead? Anything that is born has to die. So, you have to kill them. Now people can say that Krishna was preaching violence. No, not that. But what he said at those people who are adharmis, who have no sense of dharma, who have been so cruel, who have been very much against the tradition of dharma, they have to be killed. Whether you kill them or not, they are already dead. Because they have committed so many sins. They are already dead. So you should not think that you are killing. But it's the divine which is going to kill them, so-called killing. And so the war started. In the Gita also, people have very less understanding as to what he wanted to communicate. The first thing, the war is on and he's talking about philosophy. You can imagine the detachment. The first thing he told him that you should take to jnana. Jnana means both. Both, as you know, is only possible through enlightenment. So he said you should take to jnana, to both, which is enlightenment. But people don't understand jnana. They think that by reading books, by reading all kinds of, there are so many criticisms of Gita, reading all that, or understanding about Gita. There are many in this country who are giving lectures on Sri Krishna. In their own lives, they are horrible. So, he told the best thing that is to be done. That is the only thing to be done. He was not a businessman. A businessman will tell you first something that is not so good, then better, raising you slowly. But he said outright that that is the one by which you become Sthitapragya, means Sahaja. He said clearly. But Arjuna said then, if it is so, why do you want me to go on war, to do this karma? That is also very much misunderstood. Only after realization you can understand what he meant by doing karma. He has said it very clearly that you do your work, karmas, your whatever you have to do, your action, and put it at my lotus feet.
Today let me do it with Krishna's finger. And at Krishna's place. See the Virat Shakti. Release it. So it has a very great significance today that before American tour, which is the Vishuddhi Chakra, I am worshipping the Virat. Yeah, I mean you are worshipping the Virata here.
Mataji, just one. Oh, thank you very much.
The Virata is the High Lord, the power of creation and nourishment, the absolute cosmic being of the universe. Above the level of the Agnya Chakra, he is Sri Krishna, whose Shakti is Viratangana. Om Tvamiva Sakshat Shri Gruha Lakshmi Kubera Virata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvamiva Sakshat Shri Brahma Deva Vitala Virata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvamiva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Maya Virata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvamiva Sakshat Shri Vitala Virata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Om Tvamiva Sakshat Shri Nirananda Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji